Alright. She's about to cast her big old stun spell that makes everything stop, and then we all go to the Shadow Realm and go kick our own asses. First thing you want to do, she casts out those clones, and what you're going to want to do is, if you got DPS, you're going to want to use Ignore Pain pretty much right as soon as you can, because those clones usually get spawned right on top of you. If you don't do that, your DPS is usually going to get one-shotted. Then, if you are using Wrath of Berserker, it's always a good time to just go ahead and get your dodge on. So, how these clones work is a Barbarian, it's tricky if he gets his stun. They get a random property, and sometimes the Barbarian will get a stun, and that's a real pain in the butt. But the Wizard clones will do crazy DPS, Demon Hunters will drop traps, and Monk will punch things. So, in terms of co-op, what you're going to want to do is take out the DPS clones first. But, you know, always be conscious. Pay attention if that Barb is using stun, because then you're going to have to approach it differently. Alright, he's stuck over there. What you're about to see here is, I'm not going to completely finish off this clone. They have a timer. I'm not sure exactly how long it is. Yeah, right there. But they die after a certain time. I'll kill off a few of the clones, but on the last clone pack, what I'm going to show you is that you can just run away from the clones, and they'll eventually disappear, and then you can start fighting Diablo again. You know, it's kind of not my favorite strategy for sure, but it's something you can do. Alright, yeah, I mean, Diablo's just going to cast the same spells and everything down here, so the fight's the same, except 3 times he'll make clones. So this situation, really, like, I'm using Dreadnought, and that's usually getting me a bunch of my life, but if you use Revenge with Provocation, you're going to be just as okay. But for tanks in general, I mean, Diablo just does not do enough consistent DPS to keep you down. It's really bursty, it comes in increments, so he'll do a bunch of DPS and then you have time to go heal or hit him for a while. So it's not really difficult for tanks, but I feel like the tank really needs to be aware of what's going on in the battle to protect their DPS. It makes these quick. You can get a 5-stack of Valor and throw on your Magic Find gear and kill Diablo if you've got the right DPS with you. But just like in the first part, if someone gets down, you just hit Diablo for a while and she'll run away, and then you can res them. It's a little trickier. Sometimes you've got to go loop them around. I'll show you what I'm talking about with the next clone. Yeah, as you can see, once you hit Wrath of Berserker, since it gives you that 60% extra dodge, you're just going to keep hitting everything and nothing's going to hit you. So the life on the hit is the reason why I keep gaining so much life there. Okay, I wasn't quite able to get to what I wanted to show you with this group, but I'll do it the next time. But yeah, there's clone dies again. Don't need to finish them off. And then just back to the Diablo fight. And again, if you have DPS, you are going to want to get caught in the Diablo's bone prison. It will distract him for 3-5 seconds, and that's plenty of time for DPS to unload all of their skills. And yes, I know, I could definitely be putting a lot more DPS on right now. I could use all my passives, I could use all my DPS gear. Tanking would be a little bit more difficult, but this would be way quicker. That is not the point of this video, so don't bother talking about it. I'll do another video of that later, I promise. I haven't really noticed any sort of pattern to the bone shield. He just seems to kind of cast it in a random area towards people, so the best way is to just run around and pay attention. Alright, we got the last clones coming up, so let's go ahead and start running this guy around. So he's not really going to catch up to me, he's pretty slow. So it's really easy. I mean, Diablo's going to pop back in here after a little while, just like she does before. But it's not really that big a problem. So what I'm going to show here, though, is there's a good way to trap the clones up top. It's kind of tricky to do. Sometimes it doesn't always work, but just kind of do that number. Once you get them up there, they just kind of sit there until they're gone. So just keep hitting on Diablo. But like I said, it doesn't always work, especially if there's multiple clones. Alright, so now you just tank her off for the rest of this. She doesn't do anything tricky. Just keeps taunting you over and over with the same repetitive bullshit. You know, I don't really do it very well because I'm kind of overgeared for what I'm doing right here. But if you are having trouble with this fight, obviously avoid those AoEs way more than I am. I'm just standing in there tanking them. You can get around those so easy and dodge most of his attacks. Dodge, like a charge, you can use that and just go right through him. You can leap over him. You have a lot of options, so just don't sit there and get too comfortable in the pocket. Make sure you use your body placement a lot. A lot of the game is body placement, and a lot of people don't really take that into account. Also, you got to get the internal rhythm of the game. During a fight, you're going to notice that they use certain spells in a certain way at a certain time, so just be patient and pay attention to all those things. The third part of it, really all that Diablo does is start using their spells more. There's not really a big secret there, so let's go finish this bitch off.